So we're still off class for a little while. Hopefully we're going to be back in class very soon, but since we may have probably 2 or 3 more weeks at least before we can get back together, I wanted to share some cane videos with you because normally the fourth week of class is the weapons class, but Master Weisman can send these out whenever she'd like. So I'm going to cover 2 forms. The first one we're going to start with is the strike set, and we're going to do the individual strike set, which that's just the individual moves. So you're just going to move just a little bit, so you don't need a ton of space to be able to do this form. So let's start with that strike set. So we're starting with the cane in the right hand. You can start at the Goju Shori ready if you'd like, you don't have to. You're just going to step out on the right foot and you're going to do a cane strike to the knee or ankle. I usually like to do it to the knee so I'm not extending myself down too low. Then you come back, every time you're going to come back to the ready for the most part, all the way around the world, strike the knee or the ankle. Remember from the last class, we go all the way around the world so somebody can't catch the cane as it's going in front of you. You step back, you turn the tip up to the sky, and the cane drops down into your hand, and then you're going to do a shaft strike to the groin as you step out on the left foot. Step back on the left foot, cane slides back down into the hand, so you just turn the tip down, step out on the left foot, tip strike to the abdomen. Now we're going to move to the middle part of the body. So this, with strike 5, you're going to do a strike to the elbow, bring the right foot back, step out on the left foot, come all the way around the world, strike the elbow. Now you're going to step back, you're going to step out with the right foot, and you're going to do a clavicle strike with the right hand. Come all the way around the world, step out with the left foot, and you're going to do a strike to the clavicle. Now you're going to step back with the left foot, and you're going to slide that left foot back out as you do a tip strike to the sternum. So look at where my horn is pointed. You want to try to work on getting it pointing at your target. Then you step back, you step out on the left foot again, and you're going to do a strike upwards like a punch to the nose, punch to the face. Now we've attacked the middle section of the body. So now we're going to go to the neck and head area. You're going to turn the cane up, flip it around, because now you're going to do a shaft strike to the side of the neck. Now you could hook the neck if you wanted to, but you're going to do a shaft strike where this is basically hitting the side of the neck on somewhere. Then you're going to come all the way around the world, and you're going to do a shaft strike to the other side of the neck. Then I drop my cane back, flip it back into my hand, so now it's back to the way it was when I was doing the strikes to the elbow, and I'm going to strike to the temple with my right foot out, step back, step out on my left foot, and I'm going to strike with the tip to the temple. Now I'm going to step back, and my cane flips to where it's over, it doesn't rest on my shoulder, it's over my shoulder, and I'm going to do a crook strike to the face. Step back on the left foot, and then I'm going to finish the form with the 14th movement, if you've been counting, and I'm going to do a tip strike to the top of the head. Now remember, this is not a sword, so when you finish this form, you should just strike at the top of the head. It doesn't go down like that, right there. I just want to demonstrate the block set for you. The third video is actually showing how the block set marries up with the strike set. So this is just the block set. So I'm going to step back on my left foot into a left back stance as I do a broom sweep block. Then I bring my feet back up and I step back on the right foot in a right back stance as I do a broom sweep block. Then I come back, I turn this hand over and grab my cane, and as I step back, I flip it down and I bend my knees. Then I bring my feet back together, I reach up, I grab the top of my cane, and I'm back in a back stance as I do a sweep, only I've got the crook down this time. I'm going to bring my feet back, I'm going to step back on that same left foot, and now I'm doing a middle guarding block in a left back stance. I'm going to step back and I'm doing a middle guarding block, the right back stance. Then I come back and I step back into a right back or right front stance with this angled high block. Then I bring my feet back together. I step back with a right foot into a left front stance as I execute another angled high block. Then I'm going to bring my feet forward and I'm going to step back and I'm going to execute a fan block. I bring my feet forward back again. I'm going to step back, execute a fan block. Then I bring my feet back together. I step back on that last foot. Now I'm back into a back stance. And I'm doing a high angle block to the side. Bring my feet back together. I step back and I'm doing a high angle block to the side. Now I'm going to bring my feet back together. My left foot stays at the bottom of the cane, the right foot's on top. And this is a high guarding block against tumble strike. And I'm going to step back, high guarding block, tumble strike. This is the more difficult move in this form. You're going to grab the cane here, you grab the crook here, and as you step back, you block to the side. Tell you what that is in the next video that we shot before this one. And so now I'm going to end the form. I'm just going to step back on my right foot into a left front stance as I execute a high block with my cane. I come back and go to Shuri ready. Remember, there's 16 moves to this form. There was 16 moves of the previous form. We just added in the clavicle strikes when we went to Gen 2. Watching that last video, I said this move was 14. It's actually 16. There was 14 movements in the old strike set, but now we're on the Gen 2 Goju Shori material. There's 16 strikes because we've added the clavicle strikes. So 16 strikes, 16 blocks. And the reason there's 16 blocks is because now with the strike and the block sets, you can actually link them, or actually you partner them. And you will actually, eventually, if you continue to study the system, you will do that at some point. But now I'm going to teach you the 16 step block set. Okay? So again, we're going to start in a Goju Shori ready. It's in my right hand. I turn my right hand up, and I'm going to do a broom sweep block as I step back into a left back stance. Then I'm going to step back into a normal stance, or a ready stance. And then I'm going to step back into a back stance with another broom sweep block. Now, most of the time, I just slide my foot across, but if you want, you can come all the way back up. But you're going to take this right hand and take an underhand grip here, because if you step back, you're going to flip it down and bend the knees a little bit. If you're standing up like this, they can still strike your groin area, so bend the knees a little bit. Then I come back to a normal stance. I grab the shaft with my left hand, my right hand comes on top, and I do a sweep. Okay. So now, think about the strike set. I'm doing block to the first strike to the knee, block to the next strike to the knee, block to the shaft strike to the groin, block to the tip strike to the abdomen. And we're just going to continue with, now I'm blocking strike number 5, which is a strike to the elbow, with this middle guarding block. Again, back stance, maybe high back stance. Then I come back, then I drop the right foot back into a right back stance, and I'm doing a middle guarding block, so I'm guarding against the tip strikes that come to the elbow, those strikes. Okay. Now, my feet come back, I step back on the left foot, and I'm going to do an angled strike to protect against the clavicle strike. I step back, I'm going to step back on the right foot, and I'm going to do another angled block to protect against the clavicle strike. This is more straight on. Okay. Now I am going to do a fan block. This is to the first tip strike down to the sternum. And then I'm going to do a fan block strike to the strike to the face. Then I'm going to step back into a back stance, and now I'm doing, so this one is more straight up and down. This is to the side, and this is against that shaft strike to the side of the neck. I come back, and I do the shaft strike to the other side of the neck. Then I come around, and now I'm going to do a block against that tip strike to the temple. Bring the feet back, drop the right foot back, and I'm going to do a block now against the other strike to the temple. Then I bring my feet back. Now this I want you to pay close attention to. I've got the shaft here with my left hand. I reach up and grab with my right hand because this is right side block. My forearm kind of rests against it, and I step back and block. And then I take and push up. So I wanted to leave you with just a couple of things that you can work on with space limitations. I know one of the big challenges with being off class is sometimes we don't have a whole lot of space to train in. So something that you can do, and you don't need very much space in it at all, is you can just get into a front stance, high walking stance, fighting stance, whatever you want. And you can just create combinations. So one of the things I like to do for cardio is I'll do outside middle block, reverse punch. Remember, high outside, reverse punch. And then you can do high outside, regular punch, high outside, reverse punch, high outside, regular punch. However, I like to do a little different, so I've got to engage my brain as much as my body. So I will do high outside, reverse punch, outside middle block, regular punch, high outside, reverse punch, outside middle block, regular punch. And you could just, you're only limited in what you can think up. In fact, my homework assignment for you is think up some combinations, and then you can show them to me when we get back to class. One other thing I want to add, and you can do it with the foot techniques. You can either just do front snap, front snap, front snap, sides, roundhouses, any kicks you want to do. If you want to do high block, obviously you can't do high block off the reverse leg. That's the only one you can't do reverse. It's incorrect. So you can do high block, reverse punch, high block, reverse punch, high block, reverse punch, high block, reverse punch. So you just have to switch your feet between each one. So go practice those, and then show me what you come up with when we get back to class.